Roll call.
Milton. Here. Pauls. Here. Thompson. Here. Gurnett. Here. Gray. Here. Jerem. Here. Mr. President.
Here. Please stand for the pledge and invocation by Councilmember Jerem.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There's a couple things I wanted to say today. One is personal loss, a good friend and a valuable member to not only Omaha community in his legal work over many years here, but to Council Bluffs in the loss far too early at 53 to cancer, Chris Tinley. He did many things for this community and was active in Omaha on our bar and represented people, and the type of people often you hear the Pope Francis talking about, the forgotten, the downtrodden, and did it very well. We'll miss him. But to end on a more positive note, I'm happy for my family members still in Connecticut who celebrate today UConn men's team, but more importantly an undefeated women's team who plays for championship against another undefeated women's team from Notre Dame, and wish them luck. So for that, just ask a moment to think about people you might know who do good things for the community, like Chris Tinley, who maybe do so for many years without any notice. Just take a moment to reflect. Thank you.
City Clerk certifies publication of the Daily Record on April 4th. Notice for pre-council and regular City Council meeting April 8, 2014. A current copy of the Open Meeting Act is posted in white binder on the east wall of the legislative chambers.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Omaha City Council. This meeting is conducted in public and by law may only address the topics listed on the published agenda. The council will hear testimony but will not engage in debate of the issues with the public at this meeting. During testimony, it's not appropriate to applaud or convey disapproval. These actions only detract from the formal decorum of the meeting. At this time, please turn off or mute any electronic device.
Zoning ordinance on final reading, planning board attachments. We'll take items 5, 6, 7, and 8. For a public hearing, we'll have to vote on item 7 separately because that's an amendment. 5 is ordinance to rezone property located at 2102 South 105th Street from R1 single-family residential district large lot to R2 single-family residential district low density. A, planning board and planning department recommend approval. 6 is a resolution that the preliminary plat entitled Pull in Place is hereby accepted. A, planning board and planning department recommend approval. 7 is the plat transmitted herewith entitled Pull in Place is hereby approved. A is an amendment. B is the planning board and planning department recommend approval. And 8 is the subdivision agreement. It's hereby approved.
Public hearings are continued today on items 5 through 8. Proponents, please.
Doug Kellner, Thompson, Dreesen, and Dorner, 10836 Old Mill Road, here on behalf of the applicant. We did meet with the residents on this project, and I believe we've come to something everybody can work with on this, so we request your approval on it.
Thank you. Are there any other proponents today? Seeing none, any opponents?
I'm Robert Cochran. I live at 2110 South 105th Street, just south of the property. I'm going to read something just because I want to make sure I cover everything. I would like to thank Steve Huber, the Pullens, who are the owners, Franklin Thompson, for taking time to visit with the neighbors about plans for the property. Mr. Thompson particularly, because he came out on a cold, rainy day and we trudged to the land together. Assuming, and I speak for the neighbors today, assuming that there are no more than 3 lots and that any future modification to the lots require both planning board and city council approval as opposed to an administrative lot split, the neighbors can support the proposed plat. In addition, we have been told that there will be a 25-foot setback buffer on the south end of the property to perpetuity, and there will not be any effort by the current and future owners to modify the setback buffer. Assuming the number of lots and buffer requirements are acceptable to the Pullens, the neighborhood, we'll look forward to watching 3 beautiful homes rise, and we'll welcome our new neighbors.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other opponents that want to speak? Seeing none, public hearing is closed. Mr. Thompson.
Thank you, Mr. President.
If I could have the attorney come back up. You state your name again, please.
Doug Kellner.
Doug, the amendment that we are going to be voting on, and I believe that's attached to item 7, does it contain the things that Dr. Cochran is requesting, namely the 20-foot buffer 25 on the south side, and then the agreement that any further subdividing of the land itself would have to be done through going through the whole process of the planning department, planning board, and city council?
Yes, we've added 2 notes to it in the plat that will be recorded with the plat in the upper left-hand corner of it.
Go ahead and read that to me, sir.
The first one is the lots contained within Pullen Place shall not be further administratively subdivided, resulting in an overall increase in the number of lots. And then the second one is a 25-foot building setback shall exist along the south property line of Lot 1. Lot 1 is the south lot line that is the one in question.
Okay, if you could just stay right there. Mr. Cochran, if you could come up. Dr.
Yes.
Cochran, what we have here is we're going to actually enter this into the record by voting on the amendment before we vote on the whole thing, so it becomes part of the record.
Thank you.
Okay? So if there are no other questions, I'll move the amendment.
So we can do that. We can do that. Well, it's amendment to 7. We'll take 7 first to vote on.
Yes.
Okay.
There's a motion and a second on the amendment. Roll call.
Milton?
Yes.
Pauls?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Gurnett?
Yes.
Gray?
Yes.
Jerem? Mr. President?
Yes.
As amended.
As amended.
Second.
Roll call.
Milton?
Yes.
Pauls?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Gurnett?
Yes.
Gray?
Yes.
Jerem? Mr. President?
Yes.
Now we need a motion on 5, 6, and 8.
So moved.
Roll call.
Milton?
Yes.
Pauls? Thompson?
Yes.
Gurnett?
Yes.
Gray?
Yes.
Jerem? Mr. President?
Yes.
They're all passed 7-0.
So, Dr. Cochran, not only is it this council is a witness, but it's also part of the record so that a future council can go back to the record, and then you're safeguarded by that.
Thank you very much. Thank
Thank
you
you.
all.
Thank you.
That's what he said. We'll take items 9 through 12. It's one case. 9 is ordinance to rezone property located west of 204th Street and north and south of Blue Sage Parkway from AGDR Development Reserve District 10 to rezone to R4 Single Family Residential District High Density. A, Planning Board and Planning Department recommend approval. 11 is a plat entitled Wingate Ranches 2 is hereby approved. A, Planning Board and Planning Department recommend approval. And we have an amendment to 11. 12 is a subdivision agreement is hereby approved.
Public hearings on items 9, 10, 11, and 12 are today. Proponents, please. Mr. Doyle.
Good afternoon, Brian Doyle, Follenkamp Doyle and Jobin, 11440 West Center Road. I'm available to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Any other proponents today? Seeing none, any opponents? Public hearings closed. Mr. Pauls.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a couple of questions. I've had some people talk to me about the movement of traffic throughout the subdivision. Can you just give me a little bit of background so we feel more comfortable?
Yeah, if I could, I'm going to put an exhibit up here. I believe that the questions have come from this area here, which is Ranch View Estates 2. This is Ranch View Estates 1,
Right.
and then Ranch View Estates 3. When these were platted, there was only one way in and out. Today now, Wingate Ranch Phase 1 is this portion here. There's a way to get out there past the middle school. The part that we're talking about with the final plat today includes all of this area, which provides additional connectivity all the way out to 204th Street. We actually believe that by far the majority of people that live in here will exit either north through their own subdivision and out, But it also provides another way out for the residents of Ranch View 2.
Okay, so just how many exits would that be then?
Well, this will add, just this plat will add one out onto 204th Street, but it provides connectivity at 1, 2, and 3 different points from Ranch View into this subdivision.
Okay, so I'm to leave with the idea that there actually will be more availability to leave the area.
Yes.
If you choose.
If you choose. In Ranch View 2, where I believe the comments came from, they only had one way out to the north.
Okay.
After these streets go in and also the prairies to the west, they'll be able to travel out of their subdivision north, west, or east.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification.
Thank you.
Thank you. No further lights. Is there a motion?
Motion to adopt the application.
Not 9, 10, let's do 9, 10, and 12 first.
Okay, motion to approve 9, 10, and 12.
Second. Roll call.
Milton. Pauls. Thompson. Gurnett. Gray.
Yes.
Jerem. Mr. President.
Yes.
Now there's Amendment 11.
Motion to approve the amendment.
Roll call.
Milton. Pauls. Thompson. Gurnett. Gray.
Yes.
Jerem. Mr. President.
Yes.
As amended.
Second. Roll call.
Milton. Pauls. Thompson. Gurnett. Gray.
Yes.
Jerem. Mr. President.
Yes.
It's adopted as amended 7-0. We'll now take items 13 through 18. 13 is ordinance to rezone property located northwest 204th and Harrison Street from AG to R4 single-family residential district high density. 14 is to rezone to R6 low-density multifamily residential district from R6 to DR Development Reserve District. 15 to rezone to R4 single-family residential district high density, and 16 is to rezone from MU to R4 single-family residential district high density. A, Planning Board and Planning Department recommend approval. 17 is resolution that the plat entitled Coventry Bridge is hereby approved. A, Planning Board and Planning Department recommend approval. And 18 is a subdivision agreement is hereby approved.
Public hearings on items number 13 through 18 are today. Proponents, please.
Jason Thielen, E&A Consulting Group, 330 North 117th Street. Here on behalf of the applicant. Be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thanks. Any other proponents today? Seeing none, any opponents? Public hearings closed.
Motion to approve.
Roll call.
Milton. Pauls. Thompson. Gurnett. Gray. Jerem. Mr. President.
Yes.
13 through 18 are passed 7-0. Item number 19, ordinance to amend the official records, logs, and plats to provide for the changes to street names. A, Planning Board and Planning Department recommend approval.
Public hearing on number 19 is today. Are there any proponents? Seeing none, any opponents? Public hearings closed.
Motion to approve.
Roll call.
Milton. Pauls. Thompson. Gurnett. Gray. Jerem. Mr. President.
Yes.
It's passed 7-0. Resolution to permanent plats, subdivision agreements. Item 20, 21, and 22 are one case. 20 is resolution of the preliminary plat entitled Elk Ridge Replat 7, located east of Elk Ridge Drive and Seward Street, is hereby accepted. A, Planning Board and Planning Department recommend approval. 21 is the plat entitled Elk Ridge Replat 7 is hereby approved. A, Planning Board and Planning Department recommend approval. And 22 is a subdivision agreement is hereby approved.
Public hearings on items 20, 21, and 22 are today. Proponents, please. Mr. Jobin.
Mr. President, members of the council, Larry Jobin, 11440 West Center Road, appearing on behalf of Boyer Young Development, the applicant in this particular matter. I'm simply here to answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you. Any other proponents today? Any opponents? Public hearings closed.
Motion to approve.
Roll call.
Milton. Pauls. Thompson. Gurnett. Gray. Jerem. Mr. President.
Yes.
They're adopted 7-0. Liquor, item number 23, the Come and Go number 348 at 12011 Blondo Street, catering liquor license, new application, O location.
Public hearing on number 23 is today. Are there any proponents? Please come down.
My name is Jared Richardson with Come and Go. I am here to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Are there any other proponents? Seeing none, any opponents? Public hearing's closed.
Second.
Roll call.
Milton. Pauls. Thompson. Gurnett. Gray. Jerem. Mr. President.
Yes.
It's approved, or it's adopted 7-0. Item number 24, Minabella Beauty Resort, 364, 368 North 114th Street, Class C liquor license, no application, new location. You have communications from the president of the corporation requesting an amendment to only licensed a VIP area 16 feet by 26 feet.
Public hearing on number 24 is today. Proponents, please.
Yes, my name is Chad Kryler. I'm here to represent Minabella Beauty Resort. I'm here to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you. Are there any other proponents today? Seeing none, any opponents? Public hearing's closed. Mr. Thompson.
Thank you, Mr. President. See if you could stay at the microphone here. Can you describe the layout? So maybe over here I get a facial or a manicure or haircut, and then when I go over to another part, I take a sip of wine. What kind of a layout is this?
Yes, sir. We're having one room that is a party room designated specifically for wine and beer use only. We're not going to serve any hard alcohol, no cocktails, no mixed drinks, anything like that, and it's only going to be for a pedicure room. We will have a small bar area for spa patrons to sit at, should they desire, but it's really just for wine consumption on the premises, also beer consumption on the premises, and off-sale wine sales only, and champagne.
So is there a wall, or it's just a roped-off area?
Yes, sir. I have the floor plan right here, if you'd like to see. Let's see. No, it's not. This will be... Sorry. Right here, the VIP room. You can see that. It'll be basically there's a glass wall that's going to go in here with a door, and there's another wall here. That'll be in front of our receptionist area. So there's only going to be in this area.
Mm-hmm. And so you will monitor the younger people that are getting beauty care not to enter into that other room.
That is the desire. Yes, we want to keep that area just for 21 and older people to come in and enjoy beverage. We will have complimentary beverages with upper level services and then sales as well.
Okay. Well, I wish you luck, and we want to make sure that it works well.
Thank you very much, sir.
It sounds like a place my wife will visit.
Thank you very much.
Move the approval.
Of the amendment.
The amendment.
Second.
Roll call.
Milton.
Yes.
Pauls. Thompson. Gurnett. Gray. Jerem. Mr. President.
Yes.
As amended.
Second.
Roll call.
Milton. Pauls. Thompson. Gurnett. Gray. Jerem. Mr. President.
Yes.
It's adopted as amended 7-0. Item number 25, in Petro, 5203 Northwest Radial Highway, package liquor license, new application, new location.
Public hearing on number 25 is today. Are there any proponents? Please come down.
Okay, my name is Ashad. Actually, I'm the owner for the place, so any questions I can answer that.
Okay. I may have a couple for you here in a minute, but I'll call any other proponents that want to speak. Any opponents? Please come down. There she is.
My name's Kathy Kubovec. I've owned property on Northwest Radio Highway for 40 years. I am totally against this. The children have enough difficulty trying to get across the street. They don't have to put up with somebody trying to buy some liquor or beer, and I don't need them parking in my yard. Also, the park with the swimming pool is right there. The high school is there. The middle school is there. Rose Hill School is right around the corner. We don't need this. That's it.
Okay. Thank you. Any other opponents that want to speak today? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. If I could have the applicant come back up, please. And then just state your name and address again for the record.
Ashad Nazir, 2305 R Street. Basically, I have a store in Lincoln, so this is going to be my second store.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that a little bit. So I'm familiar with the site there, which is in my district. So there's been a gas and convenience there for a long time,
It's
right?
long time, yeah.
So what you're proposing to do is
I'm
add
expanding the building,
Okay.
like as a regular grocery store, the gas station, and the liquor store too.
So would that be extending to the north there, I guess? Or
No,
where's
just the building inside. Like I'm gonna be just the mechanic area is just gonna finish and
Okay.
make it as a regular grocery store.
And what all do you propose to sell with the license?
What is it?
What all do you propose to sell with the license?
Beer, liquor, packaged liquor, and just groceries and all that.
Okay. So you're increasing your grocery offerings too?
Yep.
Okay. I did, to her comments, I did have some similar thoughts about, I know that corner is a little bit sensitive just because students do cross there to go to Benson High School, and Gallagher Park is very nearby, and there has been some issues in the past with nearby apartments. So I wanted to get a sense for your experience working with something like this and how you would control the area.
I have actually I moved from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and we had the stores over there. So I have 10 years experience in the gas station business, and we have a store in Lincoln. We're running there last 2 years. So, but we don't have a liquor over there. But this location we have to have a liquor. Otherwise, it's not gonna be a good deal because I'm trying to buy the property. So without the beer and liquor, it's not going to be enough business over there. Because right now, it's just doing the business for only with the mechanic shop. So if you just run it as a gas station, you have to have everything like a one-stop shop. And we are running the store over there. Last 2 years, we never have any problem with the neighborhood or anything. So.
Would this be your first liquor license then, though?
Yeah, in Nebraska.
Okay. You have one in Milwaukee, you said?
No, Milwaukee, no liquor in the gas station.
Okay, so this is the first
So it's a fair competition. Over here, if you don't sell beer liquor, basically half of your business is gone.
So we did check. I mean, there are restrictions or guidelines, I guess I should say, about closeness of a liquor license to a public park, and this is outside that footage requirement. But I do share a little bit of concern about that. One more question, then I see we have another light here for now. Would you be willing to not sell single cans of beer and those little airplane shots they call them?
Yeah, we can go with that. Only packaged, not the single, the cases of and then the liquor, whatever it is.
Okay, so for the record, you're saying you would not do that?
Single?
Right.
Yeah, we can be restricted on that, for first few years, a year or something, if everything goes good, we can, come up again.
That would help with one of my concerns.
Yeah.
Okay, for now I'll turn it over to Mr. Gernan.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Clerk, there's been some concerns about distances in relation to 2 or 3 entities in that neighborhood. And just for the record, were there measurements taken in regards to this application?
Buster Brown, City Clerk, yes. There is someone in the planning department that will do any verification we need for any liquor license, and there are 2 churches in the vicinity. Both of them are over 340 feet away from this building to building. The Benson High School is 302 feet away, and Gallagher Park is 250 feet from the property line. So they're all outside of what is restricted by either state law or city ordinances.
Both by state law and city ordinance, is that correct? Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Mr. Craig.
Just very quickly, Mr. President, I just wanted you to know that I'd be supportive of this, but I'll be supportive of this based on the comments that you gave our president, that there'll be no single bottles and cans of beer and none of those little airplane shots of liquor. Okay. With that, do we have to amend it?
No. What we can do is make a motion to grant be adopted with the stipulation that there be no sale of single containers less than 32 ounces of beer or 375 milliliters of liquor.
That's my motion.
There's a motion. And a second. Mr. Thompson.
Just for a point of clarification, you had mentioned a couple of years, try it, and then release you from that. you cannot be released unless you come back to the council and ask to be released. So in 2 years, you can't release yourself, okay?
No, that's
Okay.
what I'm saying.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. And I would just add, we will watch that closely and wish you well in your business, but know that this is also a bit of a sensitive corner from my perspective too, and we'll be watching the
We
operation.
respect all neighbors,
closely.
they are our regular customers, we should respect them too.
Good.
Thank you.
We hope that'll be the case. All right, there's a motion and a second. Roll call.
Milton. Pauls.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Gurnett.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Jerem.
Yes.
Mr. President.
Yes.
It's adopted 7-0 with stipulation. Item number 26, Hilton, Omaha, 1001 Cass Street, request permission to appoint Gordon Humbert, manager.
Public hearing on number 26 is today. Proponents, please.
I'm Gordon Humbert, General Manager of the Hilton Omaha, here to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you. Are there any other proponents today? See none. Any opponents? Public hearing is closed. Roll call.
Milton.
Yes.
Pauls.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Gurnett. Gray. Jerem. Mr. President.
Yes.
It's adopted 7-0. Item number 27, VFW number 247 at 3302 Leavenworth Street, request permission to appoint Jack Mazur, manager.
Public hearing on number 27 is today. Proponents, please.
I'm Jack Manzer, 1044 South 25th Street, Omaha, Nebraska.
Thank you.
Here to answer any questions.
All right, sounds good. Any other proponents? See none. Any opponents? Public hearing's closed. Roll call.
Milton. Pauls. Thompson. Gurnett.
Yes.
Gray. Jerem. Mr. President.
Yes.
It's approved 7-0.
Thanks.
Consent agenda. Any member of the City Council may cause an item placed on the consent agenda to be removed. Items removed from consent agenda shall be taken up by City Council immediately following the consent agenda in the order in which they were removed unless otherwise provided by the City Council Rules of Order.
The public hearings on agenda items number 28 through 33 were held on April 1st. Roll call.
Milton.
Yes.
Pauls. Thompson. Gurnett. Gray.
Yes.
Jerem. Mr. President.
Yes.
28 through 33 are passed 7-0.
The public hearings on agenda items number 34 through 41 are today. If you wish to address the City Council regarding these items, please come to the microphone, indicate the agenda item number you wish to address, identify yourself by name, address, and who you represent, and if you are a proponent or an opponent. See none, public hearings closed. Roll call.
Milton.
Yes.
Pauls. Thompson. Gurnett. Gray. Jerem. Mr. President.
Yes.
34 through 41 are adopted 7-0. Ordinance on final reading. Item number 42, the special ordinance levying a special tax for the construction of sidewalks, SWR 23-03, and we have an amendment.
Public hearing was held on April 1st.
Second.
Roll call.
Milton.
Yes.
Pauls. Thompson. Gurnett. Gray. Jerem. Mr. President.
Yes. Roll call.
Milton. Pauls. Thompson. Gurnett. Gray. Jerem. Mr. President.
Yes.
It's passed as amended 7-0. Pursuant to City Council Rule 7D, the public hearing agenda item number 43 shall be held on third reading, ordinance on second reading. Item number 44, ordinance approving 21 individual agreements between the City of Omaha and various farm operators from Cass, Douglas, Odo, Sarpy, and Washington counties will receive and land apply stabilized sewage sludge.
Public hearing on number 44 is today. Are there any proponents? Seeing none, any opponents? Public hearing is closed.
Item number 45, ordinance to establish a new Class B flammable liquid storage district, B182, at 6060 Coventry Drive.
Public hearing on number 45 is today. Are there any proponents? Any opponents? Public hearing is closed.
Item number 46, special ordinance levying a special tax for cutting weeds, group number 2014-03.
Public hearing on number 46 is today. Are there any proponents? Seeing none, any opponents? Public hearing is closed.
Item number 47, special ordinance levying a special tax for the removal of litter, group number 2014-04.
Public hearing on number 47 is today. Are there any proponents? Any opponents? Public hearing is closed.
Item number 48, special ordinance levying special tax removal, trimming of trees, group number 2014-05.
Public hearing on number 48 is today. Are there any proponents? Any opponents? Public hearing is closed.
Pursuant to City Council Rule 70, the public hearing on agenda items number 49 through 51 shall be held on the third reading. Pursuant to City Council Rule 7C, the public hearing on agenda item 52 through 55 shall be held on the second reading. Item number 56 is Chairman of the Board of Equalization reports approval of the plans and assessments with adjustments and corrections made at the regular meeting held April 1, 2014.
Second.
Roll call.
Milton.
Yes.
Pauls. Thompson. Gurnett. Gray.
Yes.
Jerem. Mr. President.
Yes.
It's approved 7-0.
Second.
Roll call.
Milton.
Yes.
Pauls. Thompson. Gurnett. Gray.
Yes.
Jerem.
Yes.
Mr. President.
Yes. Thank you.
232.